What's up, man?
Are you a TikToker?
Yeah, I'm on here doing freestyle raps for people. Could I do a freestyle for you?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, dope. I need your help because I'm gonna improvise.
Okay.
Can you give me like a song topic?
Okay, a grizzly bear drinking milk.
A grizzly bear drinking milk.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude, I love it. Oh wow, you got a grizzly bear on your mug right there?
Yeah, it's milk. That's
You drinking milk out of there?
Yes.
Oh wow,
Okay.
so this makes so much sense. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Let's go. Yeah, 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 okay, yeah, come on, yeah. Any forest, I get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. I said my fur, it be smoother than silk. I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Hey, yo, my fur, it be smoother than silk. I'm just out here drinking milk, yeah, I'm a grizzly, it's mad facts, us bears, we got a bad rap, yeah, people aren't really aware, when they see us while they hiking, yo, they get scared, they like, no, that's that dude, that grizzly that's really gonna steal our food, damn, hey, yo, his size is godly, he might even catch us and eat our bodies, yeah, people think that I'ma eat them raw, people scared of my teeth, scared of my claws, people scared cause my size is giant, and they know in a fight that I'm certain to triumph. But here's the thing, I don't like people. I'm not a bad guy, I'm not evil. Nah, that's not the way I'm built. I ain't gonna eat you, I just want your milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. I said my fur, it be smoother than silk. I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Hey, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear, yeah. And my fur, it be smoother than silk. Hey, I'm just out here drinking milk. Yeah, real big how I been built. I'm not really a fan of the skim milk. I do invent, loving to drink the 2%. Yeah, and y'all know I don't make people feel the wrath. I want the half and half, yeah. Yo, look in my eyes, they so dreamy. Pour me a glass of milk that's mad creamy. All the milk, you know it shook me. But hey, I think I'll need some cookies. Yeah, that's gonna make sure my mood don't get low. When I got the cookies, I can dip those. Yeah, if I got the milk, it's a miracle. Yeah, I might need a bowl of cereal. Aw shit, man, he even had the prop. Y'all know we drinking non-stop. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Hey, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Yeah, and my fur, it be smoother than silk. Hey, so I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Yeah, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Hey, and my fur, it be smoother than silk. Come on, I'm just out here drinking milk. Yeah, I'm about to make you aware. If you got milk, better pour a glass for the bears. Yeah, I'm out here getting busy. Pour me a glass of milk for this grizzly. Yeah, I'ma make you aware. Hey, go and pour a glass of milk for the bears. Hey, y'all know the milk got me amped. And if you don't pour me a cup, I'll terrorize your camp. Let's go.
Hello.
Wow. Awesome. Oh,
Did
Jim
you
is
like
here.
that?
I was going to say, where's Jim?
What's all that xylophone noises? Ding, ding, bong.
Ryan, probably.
Oh,
Is there a ping pong?
you say hello to chat.
Yeah.
Go.
Literally, we've just started. So insofar we have Bazza, myself and Ryan. We have Mr.
probably-
Anus, everybody's favourite Anus, and Paul Joe.
Yo.
Of course, PJ has to be here.
You know that we had to have Grizzly Bear because I'm a bit obsessed with that song.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it way too much.
Yeah. It's good though. I think it's his best one. Hi, Captain Caveman.
Hello.
I'm putting in the post for you to start.
So today we are going to be talking about ADHD.
That's what I researched. I was going to do like panic attacks, but there's so much involved with panic attacks that I thought it's going to take me more than a day to sit down and, even though I understand them because I've had them, you know, like there's a lot more to it. Like I'd have to go through a whole bunch of different kind of like other things, and because it's like part of a lot of other. Anyway, so basically how they come up with whether or not you're having this problem.
Say that in your comments.
ADHD, that is. which is attention deficit something's whatever. So basically, they have this criterion that they use in order to figure out whether you match the symptoms.
Yeah.
And so
Diagnose.
yeah, and they're called DSM-5 criteria. And basically, they're called DSM-5 because if you have any 5 of these problems out of the 9 or whatever the list is, then you're considered to be in that category.
Right.
So I'm just going to go along and kind of answer with my own personal feelings rather
Yeah.
than pointing
Before you
anybody
do
else.
that.
It's easier way. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to
Yeah.
read them. Even you can put
But-
them up there if you want. I did send them to you, but it's up to you.
I
you know.
will. Ryan, 2 seconds though. I just want to say this is our experience. If you have any symptoms or anything, please go and seek your doctor's help.
Roger.
Medical advice.
It's not medical advice. This
Yeah, this
is
is it.
just
Yeah.
our experiences. Like Ryan has ADHD, so we'll be showing stuff, but please do get help if you need it. Hi, Roger.
Yeah, we're not doctors. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not
No.
suggesting that you take my advice. I figured we could talk about how they diagnose you with it and talk about what the symptoms are. And then I'll talk a little bit about why that's an issue with me and how it affects my life. Because I figure that's the best way to do it is to share of yourself. I mean, it'd be kind of like part of my witness, You got a problem with that?
No.
Roger's team.
Roger's
right.
streaming. Roger, why are you streaming?
Was he hooked up to you?
Yeah,
Well, where's it
fine.
in then? Why is he
I
not
don't. He's in Ryan's. He said hello in Ryan's, but he's streaming it. This is mine and Ryan's stream.
Maybe Ryan wanted him to stream it.
It's all right.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with it unless you do. I'm okay with it.
No, but
You could have said
you
something.
could have asked.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, carry on.
Right. So
Okay,
this
so-
is
Yes.
that the right one?
No, the first one you want to find is going to be the hyperactive impulsive symptoms because that's how you start. This hyperactiveness and impulsiveness
Yeah.
is. There you go. Oh, back one. There you go. Okay.
Go back. You can go back, babe, but then the other side.
Yeah,
This
go back.
one?
No,
Yeah, he
keep
told
going
you
back.
when.
Go back.
Yeah, he told
Yeah,
you
go back.
when
Go back
you-
3 or 4. It was like the second one I put up there. Right there, that one. Okay, so this
That
is the
one.
first one. Okay, I watched a video basically on YouTube, and I can give you that. I can give you that information if you want, but I didn't think it was necessary. I just snapshotted these just to give myself to remind me about what he explained.
Who's not
So
streaming?
basically, what the doctor that made the video was saying is that they follow this criteria in order to decide whether or not you've got ADHD, right? And so you need at least 5 of these 9 symptoms. But once
Just intro.
we want-
Take an intro.
Ryan, 2 secs. Sorry, Roger. It's because that linky thing. I thought it meant you were linked, but PJ's just told me I'm new. I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey, he's not
Sorry,
streaming.
Ryan.
He's not
No,
streaming.
He's not streaming it.
Yeah,
It's because he's commented in your chat.
And it looks. And
I see. That's why there's a little
Vicky's seen the
button.
link in the StreamYard, and it looks like it's.
It
linked.
looks like it's linked,
But
but
it's
it's
not.
not. It's
It's not.
because he's in your
Well, yeah,
chat.
that is the link button. That is the link sign, but I think it's just because he's in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Roger. Right. Go on,
No worries.
Ryan.
So anyway, so I was reading this and I was like, okay, so I've been diagnosed with bipolar, right? That's what I've been diagnosed with. That's what my doctor
Right.
told me. But honestly, I'm starting to wonder if I'm not more on the side of this ADHD or maybe both. And the reason why I say that, I'll tell you in a second. Okay, so if you have 5 out of these 9 symptoms, then supposedly you should see a doctor. Okay, the first one is fidgets with your hands or feet or squirms in your seat. I do this all the time. I have my
Bye.
restless leg syndrome problems. When I was in school, I got up inappropriately all the time. I was constantly getting in trouble with that. Climbing on things, yes. Running about, yes. I still do this. I still run about. I just don't run like a child. I just move around quickly. Has difficulty playing quietly? Yes. As you can see, as you've noticed seeing me on live streams, I don't play
Yeah.
quietly.
No,
Blurting out answers before questions are completed. I do this on a daily basis.
talking excessively.
Has
Chopping
difficulty
wood.
waiting my turn. There's another one.
Chopping
I mean,
wood.
I think I hit 8 out of 9 of these.
Interrupts.
Yeah, talks excessively, blurts out answers, interrupts or intrudes on others, doesn't listen, right? This is everything. This is like everything on here is basically me, right? And I'm only smiling and laughing because I do kind of find it funny that I get to 50 something years old before I realize this is really what's wrong with me. Not that these things are actually anything to be worried about, because this is just what a psychologist thinks about it, right? And how
But
he can help
understanding
you
what's wrong
is
with
by
you.
understanding what the
Understanding.
problems are. So if we do
Yeah.
have these issues, right, whatever you want to call them, mental issues, whatever, they can be helped. Like, there are things that they can do. There are drugs they can give you and such. But I found that, for me anyway, my personal opinion is, how I get around these things is I don't know how to. And so I would love to learn to, like, be able to stop. Like, being driven by a motor, I'm like that all the time. I talk excessively. Like I said, I think 8 out of 9 are all me. Like, I can wait my turn, but you know what I mean? Like, it depends on how excited I am about the situation and the conversation, right? But
Yeah. And I think with like bipolar as well, when you get manic as well, like you can't then control. So you've got two that make you manic. You've got your ADHD and your bipolar. So when you because I know I get manic and it just comes out. It has to come out. You have to, and it's hard, but you've got two. So for you, it explains a lot. Do you know what I mean? And I think you're only learning this now, because back when we were kids, we didn't have these things. These things were not something anybody had heard of. And they're not.
well, actually, that's not true. But it is to the sense that the doctors who were working, and
It wasn't
the
common.
doctors who were doing it
wasn't
then
common
in the
knowledge.
years when we were kids, they didn't know much about it. But
No,
actually,
no.
in 1770 and 75, Melchior Adam Weikard provides the first medical description of attention disorders.
Really?
This is one of those
Yeah.
things I think.
It's just it wasn't well common. It's just like
Right.
yeah,
It didn't get
absolutely.
named ADHD
Nobody
until
got
recently.
yeah, nobody got diagnosed with ADHD and things like that when I was younger, because nobody had heard of it. But like you said, the doctors would have heard of it. They just didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
And in the 70s, longitudinal studies of hyperactive children documented it. So they started, researching it in the 70s. So we have known about this. It's not like it's been around for a couple hundred years that we know of, where it's been talked about by psychologists and different kinds, doctors and things like that. But
and that's so bad though, that people have been living with these conditions and not knowing because they didn't talk about it. Hi, Lord Racer.
yeah, and a lot of people have been hive-mindedly taught that you're not supposed to talk about your problems, and that if you have mental problems, you're not supposed to discuss it, because other
Yeah.
people will just think you're crazy. And of course, there's always that risk. But the way I look at it is this: if I tell somebody that I have mental problems right off the bat, and then they get used to me, then they learn that I'm just like everybody else. And yeah, maybe at first they're going to judge me, but the way I look at it is this: I'm going to gain better trust with that person, rather than if I don't tell them, or if they have to figure it out on their own.
But
Most
then if
people
they judge you, that says more about them than you.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm not really trying to like look at it that way. I'm trying to look at it this way: the problems that I have with, like, these things, I don't know
Yeah.
how to deal with them. But there are other things that I do deal with that are in this other criteria that I think are important, that I am able to overcome. And so I feel like I've taught myself ways to cope, right?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like panic attacks and being someone attacking you. Like me, I don't deal with it well. You don't deal with it well, obviously, either.
No,
You and I both have an issue with that. Somebody attacks me directly, especially if it's a personal attack, I take it very seriously. Now, when it comes to like what I believe and what I know and whatever, that's up in the air, right? I expect that when I come in here. But when I get attacked on a personal level, or when
Then
somebody
it's
comes
a
in
different story.
everybody knows that I don't debate, right? I've always told everybody that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll argue with people and I'll tell them what I think is true or whatever, and I'll show them by the evidence that I think proves it. But I won't debate someone on that level. I won't go into a room that says it's a debate and then debate someone. I have
Yeah,
done it,
no.
but it's just not something I do. And the reason why I don't do it is because I'm not very good at it, right? I can't remember every little detail of every little thing that I need to know in order to actually argue with facts, that is, and bring up items. I can't do that because I don't have that kind of a,
No.
I don't have something sitting here with it all written down. I could give you my thoughts about it. I could tell you all the things that I think are included and all that, but I don't really have like references necessarily. So that's why I don't
Yeah.
debate, because I would lose. I think I would lose if I debated, right? That's the reason why I don't.
know. Look, I think when you have anxiety anyway, going into a debate situation isn't great for anxiety.
Right.
I
You're
can't
right.
listen to debates, and I can't because of my anxiety. Like it triggers me because of my anxiety, so I stay away from debates. I'm not interested, and I think that's the thing. Like, you have to think of your health and everything else first. And if for me, I won't watch a debate because of my anxiety.
Gotcha. Hold on. Saying hi to Jim.
Do we need the other ones?
Yeah, I was gonna say go to the one that says a valid.
Okay.
It also says the same stuff. It says how is it diagnosed? It's the next
This one?
No, I think it's the next one after that. No, keep going. Keep going.
I think I've gone the wrong way.
It might be. It says a valid neurodevelopmental disorder involving inattention.
Yes.
Hide that. Hide this
That's the
bar.
one we want.
What hide?
Yeah,
That bar there. So it's not
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Okay, so it
That
says
one.
this is another thing. Now remember, like it says, the DSM just means that if you have 5 or more of these, then you're considered in that category. This is related just to ADHD, by the way, that I know of. So anyway, so it says fails to give close attention to details. I do this constantly. People will start talking, and I'll start talking about something I've got on my mind, and I won't listen to what they're saying. I'll just keep talking on, and then they'll go, "Did you hear what I said?" And I'll go, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then afterwards, I'll be like, "What'd you say? Wait a minute. Wait, is that what you said?" And I get screwed up, right? The second one says difficulty sustaining attention. Okay, same thing like right here. My mind is going from one thing to another, trying to think ahead of what I'm going to say next, and because that, it causes me to not be able to sustain attention on things
That
that, like,
is
when
okay.
people ask me questions in the middle of it, it kind of screws me up. You know what I mean? Because my mind doesn't
Yeah.
want to do that. Even
That
though
is
I'm
okay.
thinking about all those answers, it still confuses me for some reason. Does not seem to listen. This is worse. This is one of my worst ones. I do this constantly, and every time I hear someone make a comment about it, it makes my head wiggle. It does. It makes my mind wiggle. It makes my heart leap. It's like, why can't I stop doing that? What is it that, what is it in my head? Why is it that whenever people start to talk, because I'm excited about what I'm trying to say, and I felt like I haven't gotten it out yet, why is that I can't stop then and listen to what they're saying and then still remember what I'm going to say next, right? But I can't do it. It's like that little flash moment when that idea pops into my head. If I don't say it and then get something started on it to get my other voices or whatever talking about it, then I'll forget all about that particular direction that I wanted to go with it. And sometimes it'll frustrate me because I really want that part of it to be exposed, but yet I'll end up going around it because I'm not paying attention and I'm not listening to what everything else going on in the room.
Hi, Canada Spaceman. You're blue now.
Hi there. And okay, so the next one says does not follow through on instructions. Okay, this is me. This is typical me with my wife. She'll ask me. She'll tell me in the morning. She'll be like, "Babe, can you put the laundry away? Just put all the laundry away that's folded." Right? It's a simple task. But what will I do? I'll do like what I did today. I'll vacuum the whole house. I'll do all these other chores, and I'll forget to put the fucking laundry away. And then my wife will come home and go, "Why didn't you put the laundry away?" And I'll be like, "Well, I did all these other things." And she'll be like, "So that's not what I asked you to do." And I'm like, but I did. I spent 4 hours on this other thing. And she's like, "But that's not what I needed you to do. I just needed you to put away the damn laundry." And it's like this happens on a daily basis with me, and I'm not sure. I used to think that I just ignored it, right? I used to think that I just deliberately ignored it because that's what people would tell me. They'd be like, You just stand there and you don't listen to anything anybody says. You look right in their eyes and then you don't hear. My dad used to yell at me like all the time. It's like you never
Joe
listen.
says
You
that
never
to me.
listen.
Paul Joe says that to me. You
Yes.
never listen to me.
Because she doesn't. I asked her a question 4 times before I get an answer.
I do listen. I just listen to my head at the
Right.
same time.
Okay,
No,
here's
I can't help it.
here's another one. The next one says difficulty organizing tasks or activities. Now this is me to the
Yeah.
core. If I sit down and I write down on a piece of paper that I need to do this in order to get that done, I can get it done almost every time if I just follow the chart. But for some reason, I think, oh no, I'm going to be able to do it without the piece of paper this time.
I think
what I'll
that's
do is I'll be like,
coincidence.
I've been telling myself all morning that I'm going to put that laundry away. I ended up vacuuming and then going around and because I bring in all this mud on my boots and it gets all over the house and there's little chunks of it everywhere. So I have to go around and vacuum it all up and then vacuum the floor. And I have to do it constantly just to keep up with it, right? Because I just track it all in. And my wife doesn't mind because I'm willing to vacuum it, but I don't always vacuum it for 2 or 3 days. So it's like, you know, if I don't organize, like today, I wrote down in my head, I wrote down on a piece of paper the things that I wanted to get done. I did get those things done, but I didn't put the laundry away. So it's like, because I
Yeah.
didn't put it on the list, right? So it's like, I
Yeah.
have learned that I can overcome these things if I make a really, really big effort. It's very difficult for me because my brain wants to go this way. And the other part of my brain wants to go that way. And then this part
Yeah.
of my brain wants to focus on this right now, hyper. I want to get it done. only want to think about this. And then 10 minutes later, I have to think about something different. It's so frustrating. It really is. The
It
next
is.
one says,
I
you got something to say?
I hate thinking about what I have to do.
Yeah, Paul Joe is bad at that.
Mhm.
For me, because sometimes say you get up and you've got 5-10 things to do, right?
Mhm.
For me, I concentrate on one.
right.
So for me, like the first one I want to do, I do, and I don't think about any of the other ones. And then once I've done that, I'll think about the next one and break it down into smaller bits. Because if you think of it all in one go,
That's what I do.
it's overwhelming at times.
That's what I do.
Do you know what I mean? So if you break it down and concentrate on one, I find it easier to deal with. Like this morning, I had to get up and strip the bed and hoover and do washing and all that stuff. So for me, the first thing I did was the bed. Then I jumped in the shower and then I hoovered. Do you know what I mean? So if you split it, for me, it's not as overwhelming.
Right. Yeah, and that's my my sponsor taught me that. He told me, he says, because I told him when we first moved in here and I started going to the meetings and everything, I got my sponsor. Hi, Sandra. He told me, I said, he goes, do you have anything that you're wanting to get done? Like, you say your wife's bitching at you about not getting there. I said, well, she wants me to clean up all the boxes in the garage and unpack everything because we had just moved in and the boxes sat out here for a couple of years before I finally cleaned it up. But I go, she really wants me to clean that garage out so she can park in there. He goes, well, why don't you? He goes, tell you what, this is what we're gonna do. And he sat me down, and we sat there, and I got a piece of paper like this, and I wrote down the things that, the main topic, the main thing was put away all the stuff in the garage and organize it so the car can be parked in there, right? So then he said, okay, now how would you get that done? Name some things, So we sat there and we brainstormed, and I wrote on this all on one big sheet of paper. And then he said, okay, now I want you to take that home and I want you to stick that on your refrigerator or stick it on your work table or wherever you normally walk up to every morning. And he says, I want you to take one thing on that chart every day and I want you to work on it until it's done.
Yeah.
Don't start another one until that one's done. He says,
Yeah.
you can go and do other things, but just if you're going to work on any kind of projects, this is what you're going to work on. He says, and focus on it. So that's what I tried to do. And matter of fact, I got the damn garage clean. Of course, now you can probably see that the garage isn't parkable anymore, but that's beside the point. The point is that that's one of those times where I actually was able, in a matter of months, I was able to get this garage cleaned up, build this table here, and organize the garage, and she was able to park in here for a long time, for a couple of years. And then, of course, things happen, but
Life happens.
yeah, well, Ryan happens because I collect.
Okay.
But anyway, so
You
then
collect.
then we have did we already talk about not following on instruct? Yeah, we did. Okay, difficulty organizing yeah, and then we got avoid tasks requiring sustained mental effort. Oh my God. This is
Yeah.
one for me. Like you'll find like there's certain days where you'll see me on a live stream and I'll just be talking about everything. I'll have something to say and I'll cut in every other thing that's said, I'll cut in and I'll have something to say. And then another time, all you hear is nothing in the background. I'm just sitting there listening, right? Or I'm not actually focusing on the show. It's because I get distracted. I get
Yeah.
so distracted so easily. And if I'm busy doing like if my gardening and my wood chopping, once I get focused on that, I'm not even really listening to the show anymore. So a lot of times I'll just switch over and I'll listen to music because I can focus with music. Music I can sing along. It reminds me of things and it keeps my mind unfocused on all the crap going on in my head, just
Yeah.
enough to where I can actually focus on what I'm doing, right? So the next one on here, this is another one that like I said, all these are me. I don't think there's not one. Oh, there's one on here that's not like me. Loses things necessary for tasks. Oh my God. I will lose my own head if it wasn't screwed on. I guarantee. If there's a wrench or if they're like today, another thing that was on my list to do today was put the plastic up on the windows in the 2 bedrooms because the house gets really cold and we have really bad old windows and we can't afford to fix them because we don't own the house. So we've decided that we put this plastic up every couple of years, whenever it's really cold. But it's been like frosting out lately. So my wife asked me, she bought this stuff online and I'm supposed to go and do it. Well, today I went in there, and I put the sticky stuff up there and I went out in the garage to go get my heat gun so I could make sure the tape was stuck good before I peeled the back off and put the plastic up there. And I totally got sidetracked. I ended up doing something else, vacuuming the whole fucking house instead, right? So it's like, but then when I go back to that project, I can't find the parts that I need. I can't find the screwdriver. I can't find the heat gun. And I'll end up spending an hour in the garage banging on things and cussing myself because I can't remember what I did with that tool that I know I just saw yesterday. It's like, oh my God. And this is, and like I said, the next one says easily distracted and then forgetful in daily activities aren't a thing for me. I'll forget to eat. I'll forget to take a shower. I'll forget to drink water. I'll forget to go for a walk. I'll forget to pick up my kid. If I didn't have an alarm, I'd forget all these things all the time. There's no way I'd ever keep up with it. Now, there was a time where I was good at that, but it was only like when I was at work. When I was at work, it was a different thing. Like I focused differently and I don't know how I did it, but like when I was at work, it's just like I just did my work. I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I think.
But I did get distracted all the time.
Yeah, and like I do, like I can. So for me, I can't have silence. I hate no noise, and I can't deal with it because then my head goes into overdrive.
Mhm.
So like I'll have my music on, or I'll be watching something on the telly, and I'll get a notification. Oh, such and such is on live on TikTok. So then I get distracted, and I'm watching my phone, and the program I've been wanting to see is on the telly, and I'm not even looking at it, and I can play it 10 times and still not watch any of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I get distracted, or like I'll start reading something, or say like we talk about something. What was that thing I went? Donald Trump. The other day we were talking about Donald Trump. So then I go and I'm looking into Donald Trump's family tree. Why? I don't know. Do I need to do it? No. But I did it because we were talking about Donald Trump. So then I spent ages reading about Donald Trump and his family, and I'm like, what's
right? You get
going
hyper focused on it, right? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, and that's another thing about ADHD is that's one of those big signals, and it's not on here, but this is just like I said. I just pulled a video with a doctor, an actual doctor, so that I could get an idea of how they look at it, and then I could compare it to what I think. Because the way I do things in my life is I take the advice of the people that seem to know what they're talking about, and I only base that on that they're saying that they know what they're talking about, right? I'm not saying that I've tested it or anything. But when it comes to like doctors, but what I'll do is I'll do the same thing they do. I'll look up my symptoms. I'll do all that research. I'll find out what drugs they can give me, whether drugs are even needed and all that. And I'll already have that information in my head before I go to the doctor. I've basically already diagnosed myself, right? And then basically what I'm doing is comparing to see whether or not the doctor comes up with the same information. And I'll be damned if every time I go to the doctor, that's almost exactly what happens. Right. It's the same thing every time.
You just said that, right? years ago, I'd had the white of my eye swelled up, right, and I had to go to hospital. Because literally just the white of my eye swelled and it was killing for days. And I thought it was a migraine. I didn't realize it had swollen. Then I got lumps in my neck and I went to hospital. I was referred to the hospital, had a scan, and there's fluid on my lymph nodes in my neck. Then, like, my hands swell up, right? But then my knees, just random, weren't it? My knees swelled up and they were killing, like, horrendous. I couldn't walk. And I'd been to the doctors and they'd never put these things together. And I kept saying, like, I think I've got rheumatoid arthritis. And Paul Jones, like, stop diagnosing yourself, Vicky. And I'm like, no, but I do. Well, anyway, I was meant to go and have some steroid injections in my knees. And I said to the bloke who was doing it, could these things be linked? And he was like, I think you're onto something there. And he referred me to rheumatology. And within 5 minutes of meeting the consultant, he diagnosed me with psoriatic arthritis.
I was just going to say, it sounds to me like you got some kind of arthritis.
Yeah, well, it's an
I've never heard of it coming on like that before. That sounds scary.
I'm not talking about medication.
No, but advice.
Hi, Paul Jack.
Even though you claim it's not advice, sometimes YouTube will claim it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's not advice. But no, like, and for about 2 years, wasn't it? My knees were just swollen, and it killed, like, all the time. So sometimes self-diagnosis does work. Obviously.
Well, I'm not saying that you should do it. I'm saying that that's what I do.
That's what I do.
And my doctor knows it. So whenever I come in, he'll be like, okay, what'd you come up with?
Right.
And he'll have it written down, and we'll play this little game where we, he tells me what he thinks and I'll tell him what I came up with. And when usually we agree, I'll be like, well, I don't know if I really want to take that drug that you're offering, but I said, I do see where, like, this is what I think it is. And this is how I think we should deal with it.
Yeah.
But I always ask him, well, what can I do that doesn't require me taking drugs?
Always seek medical advice. Always. Yeah. No matter what it is.
That's what I'll always say to him. Is I'll be like, okay, well, unless it's something, like it requires medicine, I try to stay away from it. Like, they had me on like 7 or 8 different medicines at one time. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't even know what all these things are for, like. One of them makes me sleepy. The other one makes me awake. It's like, I don't get it. Like, what's the point of all this? It just got frustrating, and some of those medicines make you just not care about anything. Instead of your brain constantly thinking and you getting distracted, you just sit there and you're just like, I don't care. And I would wake up in the morning and I didn't even want to get out of bed. I just lay back down. I didn't want to get up because I didn't care. So those medicines can work if you really have, like, strong, feelings or whatever. But I would suggest, that you talk to your doctor about trying to work on a way to work that out with a psychologist rather than trying to take medicine, because medicine can make it worse. And a lot of the medicines they give you can even cause depression. So if you're already prone to depression and then you take some, that's what scares me, is it's going to get worse.
For me, I got diagnosed with BPD about 16 years ago. And I've been medicated for the most part of 16 years. And for me, I can't imagine life not being medicated, purely for the fact that my life now is completely different to what it was then, and for the better, not for the worse. So I think individual people, you've got to go with what is best for you, because at the end of the day, you've got to live with it. Whether it's a mental illness or a physical illness, you have to go to your doctor, seek their advice, and then you choose what is best for you. And don't be judging people if they are medicated. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because none of us live in each other's heads. We don't know what goes on. So, like, I've seen a lot, like, where people say, "Oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that," and I look. If my GP cannot change my medication, only a psychiatrist can. I think I will stick to listening to my psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. I've not had good. I don't see a psychiatrist right now,
While you're talking, you can take that down. You know,
and the reason why I don't isn't because I don't think it helps. It's mostly because I can't seem to find one that can stand me.
That's a
Because
You've
I will
got to
drive
find
them
one
nuts by
that you
asking
get
them
on with.
so many fucking questions. And then
But they have
they'll be
to.
like, we're here to talk about you, Ryan. And I'll be like, no, I need to make sure you know what you're doing first. And it becomes
Yeah,
about
I
that. And
think
then I end up fighting with them.
I think
You know what I mean?
it definitely is like when you find somebody that does everything that you need and you are good with. I think it's finding that person, and it's hard when you don't, and it's disheartening because you're like, well, I've been to this one and this one and this one, and they've all been the same, and it
Right.
and that's the thing. Like you have to.
Your best friend is probably your
all psychiatrists are globers.
They probably are.
It's
psychiatrist.
true. They're probably
Psychiatrists? Yeah, that's funny. I like that. Maybe they are.
Well,
But
yeah.
bloody
so on top of all this, okay, so I've got this problem. Obviously, I think everybody will agree. When people that know me well enough can tell, you can probably see that this thing is all about. It's all over me, right? My name's written right there. It should just say Ryan. Anybody, you know, my name should be listed there as one of the criteria, right? If you act like Ryan, then yeah, you. So, but what's weird is that I guess I've gotten worse about it in my old age, right? I've gotten more pushy and more not listening, more not following, you know, that kind of thing. It's like gotten worse because I'm forgetful now. I'm starting to get old, you know. I'm not a young, you know, not a little whippersnapper like I used to be, you know. And so it's frustrating me. It really is. It bothers me to think that all these things are right, but I can't stop any of it. It really is frustrating. So
Yeah.
try to look at it with a different attitude. It's like, okay, I do have this problem. Okay, but how can I survive in this world and still do the things that I normally do and still have fun and enjoy myself without pissing people off, right? Because that's really what it's about. Because I understand if somebody acted just like me, they would drive me nuts, right? If somebody cut me off every time I started talking, or if they talked, it'd drive me insane. It would. But I do it like as if it doesn't mean anything. It's not my fault. I'll honestly tell you, I don't think about doing
I
it.
do
It
that.
just comes out. It just happens.
I
It's
do
just
that,
like-
and I'll
like
say
a
to
defense
PJ,
mechanism.
it's because I've got BPD, and he's like, no, it's not, Vicky, and I'm like, yeah, it is though.
I know. I don't want to say, you know, that I agree or don't agree with you, but
No,
at
but
the
that's
same
what
time, I
do.
know exactly what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. And my wife, you know, my wife seems to understand a lot more about me than even I do. I think because she told me the other day, she goes, you do this, and I was like, thanks, babe. And she's like, well, you do.
No.
Are you aware of it? I said, yeah, I'm aware of it. She goes, well, what are you doing? I go, I don't know. I said, most of the time I think so much about it, I can't stop. And it just makes it worse. I said, I'm trying to figure out if there's something I can do. You know, like, is there some distraction that will make me able to just go right around that and not, or at least that it not show to everybody, right? I used to have breakdowns.
Canada Spaceman said I used to have breakdowns from working all the time. The bosses always gave me shit and pushed me, but others who fucked the
In other
dogs
words,
were left
around,
alone.
yeah. They were always goofy. Yeah, I know. That's the same problem I always had. Is I put
Yeah, that
when I
sucks.
worked, I committed myself to doing everything the way the person told me how to do it. Like, and I would make my own rules too. I would like change things. Like as soon as somebody in the office would say, "Well, we can't do it this way, right? This is bad." They'd show me the reason why it's bad, or whatever, the paperwork or anything like that, right? So, and I would change that. I would make everything. I would take that straight to heart, and I would go about my day and avoiding that, right? And I
Right.
would write myself notes. And see, I was really bad about remembering everything. So what I did was I carried a little booklet around with me, a little tablet, and I wrote everything down.
Diary boy.
He's an ass, isn't he? He's saying you're a diary boy.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means you write a diary.
Keep a diary, like it's a joke from like Adrian Moore. We used to have a kids. It's like the secret. What is it? The Secret Diaries of Adrian Moore. It's the thing we read as kids in school, And it's like
Right.
if you kept a diary sort of thing, you were a SWAT, someone who's very clever and intelligent and
Oh, I see.
classed
Well,
as
you
a
know,
class SWAT.
what you just said there, there's a lot to that, because what's weird about all this is I think the only reason why doctors understand psychology at all is because they're all crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
without
I
a
honestly
doubt.
do. I think there's something to that. I think you can lose your mind in a way that doesn't affect you, but you can you can, like, it happens to all of us. Like, when you have a bad day, right? I have bad days all the time where a whole bunch of people will say something to me and it's just the wrong shit. You don't say that to me on that day. And for some reason they say it, and it just, my whole day will just go to shit, right? And I'll be like literally contemplating ending my life, right? Because I'm so frustrated about it. And then like 10 minutes later, I completely forget about it. It's
I
like,
am
it's like,
talking about
it's great sometimes when that happens. It's like, thank God I forgot. And later on I'll be thinking, wow, I was so paranoid about that. And then I got distracted and I don't remember. I'm worried about it the rest of the day. It's just amazing.
You know, like what you said about ending it. I read something actually just before we come on. No, and somebody was on a bridge,
Careful.
Oh, wow.
and luckily there was somebody there,
Mm.
and the person is now
wife's
hopefully getting the help
Anyway,
that
so I
they
have
need.
to take my meeting now.
Huh?
I said my wife's home and she's gonna see that I didn't put the laundry away, so I'm about to go in a second. So prepare for that.
But no, I was reading it before, and it actually made me cry a little bit, because like people in the comments were saying, like, to the person, if you see this, like, reach out, I'm here. And sometimes people get desperate, and it's having somebody to pull you back in and realize that actually life is worth it.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. So anyway, so I've been thinking about all this.
Change the thing.
I've
And
changed it.
Oh, yeah, but does he want any up in particular order?
Is this the one you want up or not?
No, you could just, well, you can skip through it. I was just showing you like what I had looked at and what I just took snapshots, because he starts to go into like explaining like the difference between adults and children, because most of this stuff that they do the testing on, they do it with
Okay.
children, right? And so children, because children show it more, right? Whereas adults, we've learned to cope, we've learned to cover it, or we've learned to find other things to distract us, like our cell phones or whatever, to keep us calm or whatever when we're in public. But you know,
If you want to stop sharing it, just stop sharing it. But take it down off your screen.
No, but I'm looking at the dates, like 1770 to 75,
Yeah.
first medical description of attention disorders. Like,
Right.
how is it that we're in 2025,
it took us 200
and
years to even
still
start working on it.
people are not being diagnosed? Like 1970s published first studies of effects of ADHD.
You want me to tell you a
secret?
secret? I think the reason why is because they
They've
know
known
what's
about
causing
it for
it.
200 years before they even started
Mhm.
Mm.
publishing studies. Like, that's ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah.
the only way that would be possible is if they did it on purpose, right?
Well, they probably did.
Well, no, I'm serious. Like, if they knew that whatever it is, I'm not saying I'm pointing anything out. I'm just saying, let's say they know that this is becoming a problem. Like every year, more and more and more and more and more people are having issues, and it's obviously neurological. Then obviously we need to take a good look at what's going on around us and the things that we're eating and putting into our bodies, because I think that's probably going to tell you more about what that problem is and why it's what's causing it than anything.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, so
No,
my
please
my
seek
suggestion is
medical
you talk to your
advice.
doctor and you make your own decisions. But like, this is the way I look at it. Is like, if we've known about this stuff, why weren't I remember when I was a kid, they just called me a spaz or whatever. They call me tweaker or whatever. I hear it all the time. People ask me if I'm on crack, if I'm on drugs, if I'm on meth, whatever. I say no, but if you got any, I'll try some. Maybe that'll slow me down a little bit. I don't know, But and I've actually had my friends try to give me drugs to try to mellow me out, dude. I'm serious. They're always like, "Here, try some."
Look,
of this."
you
I'm like, "Oh,
smoke.
dude,
You smoke weed, and
pot
that
makes me talk
don't-
more."
that don't mellow you out. So, but no, and all, like, I think it's good, and especially like for us, because We have different mental illnesses and diagnosis and stuff. No, but I think it's good that there's a man talking about it, because a lot of men are embarrassed about it and don't talk about mental illness and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I'm from a
men-
family
Men
where,
especially, yes.
like,
We
my
don't like it either.
family think that everything I do is for attention, but I don't talk to them. So what am I doing for attention? Because then they don't know of anything that I do. But yet they're the first ones to say to me, have you took your medication? Like, either there's nothing wrong with me and it's attention seeking, or I need to be on medication and I have a problem. And it's hard because people look down their nose at you. Some people, especially in my family, like, mental illness is proper looked down on.
People don't understand it. That's the thing.
I remember meeting one of my mum's friends for the first time. Mum went, "This is Vicky," and I went, I sat there and I went, "Yeah, I'm the recovering alcoholic mental one."
I say shit like
And
that.
Mum was like,
I don't know
"Vicky,"
why.
and I was like, "What?" I'm just saying.
Yeah, but then a normie's going, what the fuck is wrong with that person?
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
do
gonna-
that on purpose sometimes, just to fuck with
I
people.
know they obviously knew because they'd have been told. But for me, I'd just rather just say it because it is what it is. Do you know what I mean?
They're gonna hear it from somebody else anyway, right? You might as well
Exactly. Like, you might as well hear it from my big gob.
See what Canada said. Ryan starts hypnotizing his wife. This is not the laundry you are looking for.
I wish. Man, I'll tell you what, I get these big ideas. I mean, like the other day, I was gonna do all these battery testing, and then I was like, wait a minute, why do I even care about the stupid battery thing? I already know that they work in that temperature. Why do I need to prove it to myself? It's like,
No, but you
I was
sent
all
it me and
excited. I was like ready
"What?"
to make videos about it, and I was like, I just started thinking about it. I'm like, this would be a waste of my time.
No,
Because it's-
no, I think people need to know, because, like, I had no idea. When you sent me that stuff,
I
was
understand,
like,
but I'm saying
"What?"
the reason why I wanted to look into it is because someone told me, oh, well, if you go to Antarctica, your batteries won't, your phone won't work, and I'm like, dude, that's not true. People go there all the time, and they can come back with films from their phone cameras. Come on, dude. Like, your phone just doesn't stop working because the battery gets too cold. That's just now. Maybe if you were in like below 40 or 40 below, that's a whole different thing. But I mean, I realized that eventually the chemicals in the battery will freeze solid, right? Or they could, right? But I mean, other than that, I really don't see where I've seen any problems with batteries when they're cold. Actually, they work better because they'll charge faster when they're cold. I mean, cold is the best thing for them. Heat is what actually makes them explode, right? It's what will make them pop.
Yeah.
Or make them
So where
gas out.
in the UK, we cannot put them in our bins.
Right. Well, yeah,
Well-
because all you have to do is cross them over. Yeah, you have to make sure they're dead, completely dead.
Because they can start a fire in a bin lorry. So we have to put them in a bag and put them on top of our bin for the bin men. But a lot of people don't know that either.
But I found it
What do
funny
you-
though that so many people believe that if you just go and like, I mean, I realize like if you take an old school video camera, like old VHS, and you're like, let's say you go to Mexico and you keep that camera inside your room, and then you go out from that air conditioning and all that moisture, you're never going to get you're not going to get any video.
No.
Because that moisture there's going to be dew inside your camera in seconds. And that's what happened to me when I went to Mexico the first time. I didn't realize you have to leave your camera on the balcony so that it stays the same temperature as the outside. Otherwise, you go from cold out into that warm heat, and it just makes moisture grow on everything. Everything just instantly gets foggy, and you can't see shit through your camera. It literally blocks it from working completely. But I didn't know that until I went to
didn't know that
Mexico and
myself.
experienced it,
Blimey.
right? I had no idea. And I was like, damn
I
it.
kind of miss the old cameras though.
Nowadays, they're all sealed up in your phone, so you don't really have that problem. You can just wipe off the lens and you're good, right? Because it's
No,
sealed
I
in there.
know, but like we remember like the disposable cameras.
I still got a whole box full of them that I haven't sent in to get film done yet.
I know, like I don't even know where mine are now.
I got hundreds of rolls of them. My mom collected them. I think she's got pictures of people and places I don't even remember.
You
But I can
really
only
should get
imagine.
them developed.
I know now that she's passed, I should. You're right.
Like when you text me that thing and I said no, keep it, like anything that you have, because if you get rid of stuff, you'll regret it. You never regret keeping anything, and you don't.
Yeah, and I wonder. I guess I wonder a lot of, like, is this ADHD thing? Is this what's my problem is, or is there something else going on that's making me act like this? I've always wondered that, and because I do believe in the Bible and things, I believe in spirits. I believe that you can have something following you around because I've experienced it. It's the only reason why I believe it is because I felt it, right? And so
Yeah,
I was wondering to myself, am I, is this, like the question of, is sin actually causing me to get sicker? And is me accepting things in the world that aren't right, is that actually affecting me physically? And I've always wondered if that was really true, even though when I hear people talk about it, it usually just doesn't sound like it makes sense, right? When they're talking about, oh, well, I just prayed and I just fasted and then I just got better. And it's like, yeah,
yeah,
whatever. Like, come on, dude. Really? Come on. Like, no, I get it. My stepmom's told me for years that she fasts and she prays and she'll just pray for a whole day if she has to. And then eventually things get better. And I said, yeah, but like, what if you didn't pray and it still got better? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
there's always that question in my mind that, is that spiritual side really affecting me physically, or can I avoid that? And then I always think to myself, even the thought of thinking that you can get around it's fucking wrong, right? It's like, but it's what my brain wants to do. My brain wants to understand it. It wants to figure out why it's that way.
That's the
How
thing with
can I
you.
fix
You
it
need to
without
know
having to do
everything.
any work?
And
That's what I want to know. It's like, damn it.
no, but Ryan, you literally want to know everything.
I
You
do,
want
but
an
if I knew
answer
everything,
for
I'd be
every
crazy.
single thing. Like I like finding answers. We all like the answers, knowing the answers. But when I say Ryan has to know the answer to everything, and I mean everything, like even things in the Bible, he's like, but I need to know.
Yes, I do, because it affects my faith, right? And
Yeah,
so the way I look at it is, God says test all things. I try to stick with that mode. Like I read Proverbs. Whenever I get confused, I read Proverbs. I don't do
yeah,
it very often, but whenever I get like stuck in something and I don't know what to do, I'll read Proverbs. And usually I'll find something in there that tells me, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
yeah,
So, but then, another problem that I
Yeah, but
have
there's
is,
some things that we can't know. There is some things that we can't know that Ryan wants to know, the whys and hows of everything. Like, you know what I mean? We don't know what the sun is. I want to know what it is, but I know I'll never know. You know? But Ryan still wants to know, even though it's impossible to know. You know? That type of thing.
you do, Ryan.
I just
You
want to
do
know the
wanna
truth. That's all. I
Yeah,
don't
of
care
course.
about.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's
no.
not what I thought it was. I don't care if I
Exactly.
have to go around and make apologies. I just want to know what the real truth is,
Yeah,
and then I want to know it. I want to know it, not just think it. I want to know it to where I can explain it to you, explain why this is true, right? And that's what frustrates me the most is I cannot communicate with people, and it's because of my condition.
but
But
you
I've spent
can
my life
see.
trying
This is
to.
the thing. You can, because like me and Ryan are both a bit like hard to get to do anything, if I'm being honest. Like even setting up a stream, how many times have we said, yeah, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, and then it never gets done because neither of us sets
That's
it.
because I
So
want to
the
talk
other
about it
day,
and I want to plan ahead of time and I want to make it
the
look
other
perfect.
day,
And then I
hi
get tired.
Glenn, the other day I was like, right, we're doing it on Wednesday, and I set it all up and I sent it him, and I'm like, right, this is it. If this time doesn't suit, let me know. And because if I hadn't have done it, we'd have just kept saying, oh, we're going to start doing streams together soon, and never have done
And
it.
everybody's like, well, what are you going to do? Well, I don't know. I guess when we talk about it, figure out what we're going to do.
That's the thing as well, because we're in different time zones. It needs to be a time that's good for both of us. Like, and I found doing streams at this time, nobody else is on, not really that we know.
Mm,
And it's a good time for both of us. Like an hour earlier or back, it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
But no, both of us, it's like we'll keep saying we're going to do it. We're going to do it, but we just don't do it. But we have done it. I'm well proud of us for doing it.
There you go.
Wait, I missed something. I
Because,
posted
you know,
a photo of it. Wait.
What?
You captured demons on camera, really? You burnt a Mason Bible. What is a Mason Bible?
Yeah, he said when he burnt a Mason
You mean like the
Bible.
one they keep in their little thing up there, in their little room?
Can you find that?
He hasn't got the picture.
He said he posted it.
Yeah, no, he posted a photo of it, but it will be.
You said you had to find the link.
Yeah, but where?
Oh.
Where did he post it? The thing, where did he post it?
If you find the link, we'll show it.
It's not in here.
Wait, who is Canada Spaceman anyway?
Canada Spaceman.
That's his
I know,
name,
but-
Canada Spaceman.
I mean, like
He
who?
comes in my chat all the
He's in
time.
PJs all the time.
I know I seen him around, but I just meant like I don't know who he is. Like I don't know where he's from,
He is
or
Canada Spaceman.
not that it's important that I know that. It's just curious.
You know what you said, like about spirits. So I never used to really, and I didn't. We all know Vicky's new to Christianity and stuff, and when I was with my ex, I kept seeing this thing, and I swear it used to
What's
make
that?
me cry. Like I was, and it did, like, and it made me feel really uneasy, and it was like a black thing, and it moved and stuff.
Mhm.
And I'd see it, and it'd freak me out to the point I would cry about it. Like it proper scared me. And after that, I was like, oh yeah,
Is that the last time?
yeah, till tomorrow.
Oh, it's gonna have to then.
And no, and it really scared me. And then after I left him, I've never seen it since. And I think it was to do with him. And I do, because he was a horrible person, like a really bad person. He made my mental health 10 times worse than it was. And I think for me, that seeing that and then leaving and never seeing it again, and I'm like, it was him, and he's dead now. Ryan, you're muted. Do you know that?
I did not know that, but now I know. I just
No,
saw
but-
Sandro said something about he had an encounter the other night in bed. He's talking about a ghost or something.
A ghost or a woman?
Well, I mean, encounters are great and all, but they're better with women than ghosts. I don't know, in my experience, anyway.
Oh,
Depending on the woman, of course.
oh, demonic. So was you
Oh.
paralyzed, Sandro?
I'm glad I don't have that problem. I don't think I've ever been paralyzed in my sleep before.
There you
I've
go.
done it twice, 3 times, maybe 4 times. I'm saying twice that I remember really badly. A few times that I couldn't
That's
get
funny.
out of it until I said Jesus. I couldn't even say Jesus' name. It was like I couldn't. It was coming out my throat like a wheeze, you know. And then I said it in my head, and then demon went.
Okay, let me ask you a
I
question.
haven't
though,
had it for a
Sandro.
long time though. I haven't had it for a good while now.
I have a
No, but
question about.
it is scary. Like,
Sometimes it is sleep paralysis, but sometimes you feel an evil presence. So different.
no,
Some people
but-
see stuff. I didn't see anything. Just
I mean,
felt it.
I have woken up and like not been able to move right away, but I always thought it was just because I wasn't awake yet, and it was my brain trying to wake up the rest of the way so I
Like,
could
you would
move.
know the difference, Ryan, if you had it happen. It's completely.
Okay,
you can
I
feel-
okay, I
you
see
can
what you,
feel the
okay. So
evil.
you're saying that this is not, it's nothing like that at all.
Oh,
No,
more
sleep
like
no.
I've had
where
sleep
you feel like
paralysis
something's
when
holding on to
I
you, you mean?
woke up, and the only thing that moves is my head. I've had that when you're halfway between sleep and a dream. I've had that
Yeah.
before. Where all you can move is your head, nothing else. But I've had it where you can feel the evil.
Or you're
presence.
fumbling with something in the bed and then you realize that you're awake.
Yeah.
And you,
There's a
there's
pressure
no more
all
ice
about
cream.
you.
Where's the ice cream,
When
guys?
you've got sleep paralysis, you don't feel anything. You just your head moves.
really?
But when this happens, you feel pressure round about you. You know.
I've just had a new subscriber.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank God I've never had that
Brenda.
problem, I guess.
Brenda, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. Brenda has to say it by herself. Itself.
My question is for you, Sandro, is this: when this thing that you think that you're saying is demonic, when it comes over you, do you have weird thoughts? Do you start thinking crazy shit like hurting people?
No,
and
I think it's
I
just
had that
scary.
experience when I experienced a demon. I could, it's like it thought for me or something. It was weird, and it passed through me, and it scared the crap out of me. I still tell my stepmom that she should have never took me there with her, because it scared the
No,
crap out of me. I was
Baz
like phased out for like weeks after that. I was like, wow, that's like blew me away. I did not expect that at all.
Baz said his wife sees things at night. See, I would see it in the day and at night, and it freaked me out. Like,
You know what?
This
I've
is
wanted to
something
see something like that my whole life. I've never
I've had
actually.
experience before. I've had experience before. I don't know what it is, but I was just living in a flat, and there was nothing there at all. But behind it was like an armchair in the corner, and I just looked towards the corner, and for some reason there's nothing there. No one. I didn't hear anything. It just felt evil. I had to pass it really quickly. Whether that was my mind or not, I don't know. But I remember living there and just feeling that in that corner was bloody awful, you know. And there was nothing there. I didn't see anything. It was just a feeling.
Right. Yeah. I've
And I had
never
to walk
seen
past
anything. I've
No.
never. I've heard voices. Of course, you know. You can. The only thing that's ever happened to me is things that you could explain away with, you know, just whatever. This happened, that happened, whatever. You were tripping, a burst of air through a hole or something. But this thing, that thing, I can tell you that was nothing. That was nothing like any of those other times. I mean, I've gotten weirded out playing with a Ouija board when I was a kid and ran and got scared and thought this and that, but nothing even remotely like that experience. I mean, this experience was like they went in the bedroom and they were supposedly praying to get rid of this demon from this woman's house. My stepmom came over there just to pray, and it was her best friend. Her name was Kathy, and she had a daughter and a dog and a cat. And so I was just told that they were going to do a prayer meeting, right? Which is basically, you know, when people get together and they just pray for somebody and they just sit in a room and they pray for hours or whatever. I didn't think anything of it. I'd seen them do that before, so I didn't think. She didn't tell me she was going there to literally pray out a demon. So I get to the house and they go back in the bedroom, and I start getting this really weird feeling. And then the baby starts looking at me, and the baby was like, she was a toddler, like she could barely walk, so she was in like this little wheel thing that kids run around in. And the dog and the cat were in the bed, and they pushed the dog and the cat out into the living room with me. So I was basically in the front part of the house, and there was just me in the room. And I think there was like a kitchen right off the main living room in that side of it was like a big apartment or something. I don't remember whether it was a house or apartment, but I don't really remember where it was actually. But
hi, Fuzzy.
anyway,
I think he's had channel for a while.
I just remember this really weird feeling coming over me. And then the cat and the dog started acting really fucking strange. They started like doing weird shit, like looking, like staring at the wall. And then they follow. And then the baby starts watching. I see the baby is watching whatever this was. I couldn't see anything, but all three of those the two animals and the baby were watching this thing move across the room. And I could see their eyes going towards me. And I'm sitting in a chair and I'm like, oh shit. Like, and it like occurred to me that I should get up and run, right? That I should get up and
the
leave.
baby and the dogs.
I didn't know what to do, but the dog, the cat, and the baby all looked right at me. And at that moment, I felt like I literally had thoughts about murdering people. It was the creepiest thing in the world. It was like instantly. It was like all of a sudden, all these flashes of like doing evil things, like wicked, just gross things to people just flashed through my mind. And then I got really hot, and then I got really cold, and then I almost threw up. And then my stepmom, and I'm just sitting there going, what the fuck is that, right? I'm like flipping out because I've never felt nothing like that before. And I thought I was going to pass out. I was so scared. Like I was literally shaking. I was sweating. I was like flipping the fuck out. And then finally the animals like basically watched it leave, right? And it was just like, and then it was like I could move again. It was like for a second I couldn't move, and all I could think about was this wicked shit. It was just weird. I had fantasized about girls and things before, but nothing like what passed through my head at that point. And it scared me. It scared me like really bad. And I remember the first thing I did, we got outside in the car and I told my stepmom, I said, don't you ever take me with you to do that ever again. She goes, what are you talking about? I said, I know what you just did. She goes, what? She goes, how do you know? I said, you think I'm stupid? I said, that thing went right through me. What the hell did you do to it? And she flipped out. She couldn't believe it. She goes, how did you know? I didn't tell you anything. How would you even know that? And I'm like, dude, I know what you did. You prayed the demon out, didn't you? She goes, how'd you know that? I said, because it came in the living room and it came after me. That's why. And she's like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I didn't even think about that. I said, well, yeah, thanks a lot.
Fuzzy. Yeah, I did have stuff on my channel, but I kind of had a thing and deleted everything. Yeah, me and Ryan, probably every week we'll be doing this.
Sandro, incubus, succubus, sometimes they can attack you at the same time. It's not just the male for the female and the female for a male. Sometimes the male and female attack a man or woman at the same
Yeah, it
time.
depends on.
They don't care what they have,
Yeah.
incubus, succubus, to be honest.
I guess if you're into that, then I guess then they'd send both.
Yeah, no doubt. I remember someone asking me in rehab, Christian rehab, oh, with sexual deep, he says, when does that happen? I'm like, you don't want it to happen, dude.
Well, you know what? When you're recovering from drugs, you just want to get high on anything, bro. Even if
Well, that's
even if it's
true.
a dose of jerking off or something, it's anything to get your mind off of what that feeling is. You know?
Fuzzy said, okay, PJ, mate, I just caught up on the Rocky movies on Rumble. Great idea, that. Do you know something, right? Can you remember when Paul Joe shared a video on my Amazon Prime? And he said, oh, it's a free trial for a month.
Oh, the MGM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It wasn't a free trial for a month because they took the money out.
Oh, you just. Oh, really? Oh,
I'm
shit.
using it still anyway.
It's fine, but yeah. So
How much
be
did that cost?
careful when you sign up to a free trial because it might not be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to
but
read
they
everything
always
now.
say-
It's like you
they
got to
always
go.
say-
You got to call a lawyer and send him a copy of it to make sure that it's worthy.
No, look, because PJ went, are you in a mood? And I went, no, like it isn't. It's only £5 a month. I can't find the photo link. It's looking in the hard drive.
Oh,
and
the
we'll
Sandra's
upload
saying
it.
that's a Google result. Yeah. I get you.
Aye.
But I mean, no, I know people's experience with incubus, succubus, and they don't give a crap what they have for demons. They might be male and female seductive demons, but they don't care what they have. They'll both go for a man or they'll both go for a woman. Either or.
Talking actually, because what
There
you
was
said
a
about
time
like,
where I would have loved to have that happen to me.
can you remember what you said earlier about like
I'm dead serious.
we don't know what they're putting into food and all that stuff? I really
That's
want
just-
PJ to put the film Dark Waters on Rumble because I watched it years ago and it is a right eye opener at looking at what's put where.
That was
Yeah.
the one with Ben
I've
Affleck.
seen enough of that to make me
Don't
not want
you-
to drink water. I'll drink canned soda before I'll drink water
No,
now.
Dark Waters it's called. It's a film.
I know, but I'm saying, I know because my wife is the one that suggested that movie at first, wasn't it?
Yeah,
She told
it's
me
Ben
that's
Affleck.
one that we should watch. That's really wicked and creepy. And
Well, we'll watch it at some point.
but I thought you were talking about
not,
that
it's
one with
not
what's her
Ruffalo.
name in it, where she was in the ocean. She was like stranded out in the middle of the ocean somewhere. It was called Dark Waters. I thought that's the movie you meant, but you're talking about
No.
Dark Water.
You only got
Which is-
Still Waters. Still Waters. You told me to do
Still-
the other one. Hold on. So I don't know.
No, it was
Is Dark
Dark
Waters got
Waters.
Tim Robbins in it? Oh no, it's reverse.
Dark Waters has got Mark Ruffalo in it.
Hmm.
It's about Teflon, I think.
Oh yeah, you said this before.
Yeah, that's right.
So good about it.
Because it shows you the corruption and the shite that gets done and makes people ill.
Okay.
Like they put it in the water, hence why it's called Dark
2005.
Waters.
2005.
Yes. But I'm
Horror
telling
mystery,
you,
horror mystery.
because
Yeah.
and
Oh, it's
I-
on Disney. It's on Disney.
I totally forgot about it, right? And then I was on
Sure.
Banners a while ago, and David Banner was saying like because David Banner had the big C.
Right.
Thankfully, now he doesn't have the big C, which is amazing. And I said to him, "You want to watch Dark Waters?" And he was like, "I've never seen it." And for me, it's a massive eye opener, like to the extent of what they did and what it did to people, and how actually they fought against people that were a lot richer and a lot.
Are
more
you
powerful.
done with the views? Because people might as well see views if they're done with views. Because then you can get.
No, because I haven't scrolled all the way through it.
Oh, I don't know if you've done with them or not.
I haven't
There's
scrolled
no
all the
point in
way
having
through it.
sharing if they're not. You know.
You know when you said about panic attacks,
Oh, awesome.
you know Ryan. I was talking.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My wife's talking to me in the background.
Hi, Ryan's wife. Roger, it's not flat waters.
Yeah, water is flat, as we said.
Oh, finds its level, Roger. It does.
Preston.
Can I say Brenda debate? You can watch, but you can't comment because I hid you. I don't want no Brendas on my show.
No, you don't.
I know. No, but Dark Waters is a good film. Well, it's not good what happened.
I'll say I will do it one night.
You should,
I
because
don't know how. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do film weekends. I don't know how it's got to work on this computer doing Rumble and YouTube at the same time. I'll find out tomorrow.
PJ's slumming it on the computer.
No, it's just because the laptop's good, but it's because it's got old. Because it's I don't know because it's been used a bit. It sometimes is a bit temperamental.
It's a bit glitchy.
So sometimes I don't know if I'll be able to do Rumble and YouTube at the same time. So if I do a movie at the weekend, then it'll have to be one at a time, YouTube and then Rumble. I'll test it tomorrow. When I do my stream.
He will test tomorrow and see. Bazza said, all water is flat water except when it touches containment. Lol.
Or when it's in motion, and when it's fluid dynamics, when it's in motion. That's the only time you get covered in water, when it's in motion.
What's that?
What?
Johnny Danka something.
We'll make it solo layout. So you can
Hold
see it.
on, Ryan. Let me put you
Solo layout. No. Go back. Go back to your normal one.
that one.
That's just babe. No, the other one. Right. But then you can make them solo. No, across. Next one, babe.
That one.
No, the next. Oh, for goodness sake.
I don't know what I'm doing.
That one. Just go
Johnny Danger.
The one that you were on. You can stay to the one you were on, right? But all you do is you make him bigger solo layout
Oh, I forgot about that.
like that. Nah.
Ryan, now show it, please.
There you go, Johnny Dangerously. Yeah, Johnny Dangerously. It's a good movie.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's an old movie. It's good.
I have never heard of it.
He's on mute.
You are on mute, Ryan.
Sorry, it's my favorite movie.
Is it
One of my
good?
favorites. When it comes to
Never heard
comedy,
of
I
it.
love that movie. Used to watch it on a daily basis.
Canada Spaceman
really-
said Johnny Dangerous.
And I know it's a silly movie,
I
and
mean,
if you watch it
I
now that
see
you're
what
grown
you're
up, it won't be as funny. But
You
when I was a
fucking
kid,
asshole.
What?
You fucking asshole.
I've never seen it.
Fucking-
I've
yeah,
never even
fucking
heard of it.
ice holes,
You
yeah,
fucking
ice holes.
asshole. I used to say it at school instead of saying arsehole. I used to say that if an arsehole, I used to say you fucking asshole because I was a kid when I seen that.
My nan and my dad's side,
Fucking
like,
vestiges.
all my dad's side are Irish, right? So they didn't say fucking,
Becky.
they
Johnny
said
Dangerously
fecking,
quotes.
right? So for me, if I
Cock-sucking
want to say it,
vestiges.
but not say the actual fucking, I'll say fecking. Yeah,
Fucking
fecking.
ice hole.
What's that?
It's
So-
the guy saying it.
Hold on,
You
Ryan. Let
fucking
me
ice
put you
hole.
solo.
You fucking ice hole.
You
There you
friggin'
go.
ice
Yeah,
hole.
you
Knock
said the top
down
right
that
one.
wall and knock down that
You know
wall.
you've got
Knock down
you've
that
got my
wall.
logo on your thing, babe. You should have took that out.
I know I've got your,
You've got my logo on our stream.
you've got PJ's logo.
I'm back there. You should have took it out. You
She
take it out now if you
Youngkin.
want.
Do you know that? No, it's fine. I'm going to be 42 next month, and that is really scary.
42.
42, and I will be 4 years older than my dad, which is weird.
You shouldn't hang me on a hook. My father hung me on a hook once. Once.
A hook.
Yeah.
Butcher's hook.
Oh,
My cousin tried that once. Once.
No,
That's what he says through the whole movie.
do not.
Joe Piscopo's
Oh,
character. He says that
weirdo.
every time somebody threatens him, he goes, "You shouldn't do that." He goes, "Why?" He goes, "Because my mother did that once." Once. And then he pulls out this long ass gun. He goes, "It shoots through schools." It's funny as hell, dude. Movie's really funny.
How do you
Really
deal
dark,
with a panic attack?
dark comedy, but funny.
How do you deal with a panic attack?
Me? I
Yeah.
go with it.
Do you?
I just go with it.
I can talk myself out of it.
What's the numerology behind me?
Stickers.
Stickers. They're just It's just a packet of stickers.
For
with
like
the
your
unit.
bin and that.
There's a whole bunch of numeros. Dropped them. Number.
He's obviously collecting them.
Well, I buy them when they're cheap, yeah, because I use them for different shit.
Can't hear you.
Mostly to put my name on things that are mine. You know, if you build a go-kart and you don't put a license on it, then you have to prove it's yours. And the only way to prove it's yours, besides that you built it from metal and you welded it together yourself, is to have a sticker on the bottom that says Ryan's property. You know,
That's a good idea.
it is a good idea.
You
Engraving
can
is a
get,
better idea.
though,
but it takes-
you can get pens that you use like under, you can't
Common.
see with the naked eye, but you shine a light on it, and
My grandma washed my mouth out with soap one time, or no,
Never.
twice. It happened to me twice, and trust me, I
Never.
deserved it many times. I called my stepmom.
I still
bitch,
deserve
whore,
it as
all
an
kinds of
adult.
things. But my grandma one day, she heard me. She thought I was cussing too much, and she didn't like the cuss, even though she cusses all the time. She didn't like me doing it, right? And I knew better, right? So she told me, she goes, "You say that word again, and I'll make you hold dish soap in your mouth." And I didn't believe her. So I go, "You're fucking kidding me." So she made me put, she poured it into my mouth and then made me hold it in my mouth for like minutes. And man, it burnt and it was horrible. And I almost swallowed it by accident.
That's
But man, I
bloody
held on.
awful.
And when I finally got to spit it out, man, I didn't think about saying fuck for a long time. That shit works. But I'm not sure if it's actually bad for you. You might actually cause damage if some kids
Yeah,
swallow
do
the whole thing out.
not ingest anything like that,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. She
And
told
if
me if
you
I
do,
spit it out, that I'd have to
please seek
start over.
medical
And I was all like,
advice.
no. Yeah, I've been, some cruel shit's been done to me, but I look at it this way. We all have it coming eventually, right? Like maybe when I die and I go to heaven, they'll let me skip off to hell every once in a while and torture the assholes that treated me like dirt. I don't know.
No,
But not that
no.
I want to do
You have
that,
to
but
forgive.
I have to look at it
Even
that
though
way.
you don't forget, you have to forgive.
I know. Most of the people that have done things to me, they've basically said their piece, and I've forgiven them. But there's people that did stuff to me that I don't even remember what they did, nor do they probably even realize it. And they're long dead, so it's not like I can fix it. So, but
See, I
I don't
have.
think I don't really blame anybody though. I'm not mad at any of the people that abuse me. I'm really not. I don't know why I'm not mad at them. I'm upset because because of what's happened to me and the way I ended up. But it's not really, I don't think it's really their fault, because
Annoying.
it's not like they could have known that the one thing they might have done to me was going to have that kind of effect on me. Not to say that it's ever good to do those things to people, but that's beside.
Roger, don't work
I
too
don't know.
hard. No, like
Don't
for
work
me,
hard.
because I have a really good memory that's actually not good. Because like I can lay in bed and I'll be thinking of something I did 10 years ago, and I'm like, oh no, I have to like pray and ask for forgiveness. And I'm like, why? Like most of the people that I've thought, oh, maybe I said some horrible to her or whatever, like 10 years ago, are they really going to be thinking about what I did 10 years ago? So why am I? But I do, like, and I'll make videos ranting and I'll delete them because I think about it too much after. And if I think about it, then I did it wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Forgiveness isn't for the
I think
person.
that really
I
stems
think
from my
that's the
abuse,
thing.
though. I really do. I think that's from my abuse, because I
think-
blame everything on myself, because I always look. It always goes back to, well, I'm the one that would, this is they wanted to mess with me and they did this to me, and there was something wrong with me that
Yeah,
made them
no.
want to do that, right?
Not
And but now I
at no
realize
point
that's
you
not
should-
true, but it doesn't
No.
stop me from thinking that it
it
is.
is the
But-
complete opposite, because you are not responsible for their actions.
But I
They were
also don't
responsible
want to
for their
hold
actions.
grudge against them unless they're still doing it. Like, if I knew that one of those people was still continuing to do that to people, then yes, I would be very, very, I would not forgive them. But because all the people that did that to me, basically the ones that survived long enough for me to talk to them, they all apologized to me. They all admitted that
Bye,
they were wrong,
Roger.
right? So that helped a little bit. But the ones that are probably the worst are the ones I don't even remember. I was too young. Like it started at 3 years old with me. I don't even remember half of it. You know what I mean? So I don't know, and I'm not even sure like how it affected me or if it did at all. I don't know. I always
I
wondered.
think because you've always known from being young, I suppose it's just.
I was 3. I used to talk about sex openly in front of other kids, and it got me in trouble all the time because I thought every kid knew about it. I didn't know.
I think it's something because you've lived with it for as long as you can remember. I don't think you know how to live without it.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's always there. It's never going to go away. But you're not responsible for somebody else's actions. If somebody slapped you for no reason, that's not your fault. That's their fault. And it's exactly the same. Like you can't hold yourself, especially when you were 3. You cannot hold yourself accountable. But like PJ said, forgiveness isn't for the person that did it. It's for you because you have to. Like
Right. It's because
I-
you have to accept that something bad.
I
was done to you
struggle
and that you
still with
won't get
forgiveness. Forgiveness
Yes.
for me,
Yeah,
because I've
exactly.
always looked at it as I'm forgiving them, like they're getting away with it, without realizing that actually for your own sanity and your own salvation, you have to forgive. Doesn't mean you've got to forget, like, but don't blame yourself for their actions because that is not your fault, and it's not. You would not, if it happened to somebody you knew at that age now, you would not blame that child for that. So don't blame you as a child for that because it's not your fault. And I
I
think
guess the
that's
worst
what
part
you
of
need
that,
to
the
learn.
worst part of that is that you don't you enjoy it. That's the part that kills you. I think that's what psychologically messes your head up because you enjoy it. In some
Yeah,
sick
but
way, you enjoy
that's
it,
like-
and that's the part that you can't get over. At least for me, that's what I can't get over. Is that
So-
I didn't fight it off. I didn't try to run. I didn't, I just let it happen because I was afraid.
Yeah, but
And
you
that
were a
bothers
child.
me. It's like, why didn't I?
You were a
Why
child.
didn't I? Like, I could have screamed. I could have done something.
Because probably you didn't know that it was wrong. Like when you're young, you don't know, and that's why like we kids now you tell them like your private bits nobody touches. Do you know what I mean? But back then nobody, a lot of things were pushed under the rug and not spoken about and stuff. And I think you have to look at it through the eyes of an adult now, looking at a child, not yourself, just a child, a 3-year-old child. And that child is not responsible for any of it. That child did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Adults did the wrong, not you. And that's the thing, like, and
Careful where you wounds.
I know, but I feel sad that you actually feel that it's your fault when it's not at all, and you need to realize that. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because it wasn't your fault. Like, and look, I've had stuff done, and it's hard. Like, I didn't know it was done. I only knew because the next morning, and I blame myself because I was drunk. I was drunk and passed out. So it gave that person everything they wanted because they did it. And for me, all these years later, there's still things about it that I struggle with. And that's the thing, like, why are victims blaming themselves? Why are we, because we are the victims, why are we being, whether
Well, because
whether somebody's drunk or not,
the
or
reason
wears a
why I
short
blame
skirt,
myself is because I emulated it. I became like them. You know what I mean? For a long time, I thought about sex all the time. I couldn't stop. I was a sex maniac. Somebody mentioned that. Yeah, I was. That's all I thought about was sex. I tried to sleep with every little girl I could. I would have slept with every girl if I could have got away with it. That's just because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. That was that's what all guys ever talked about in private. And that's all
Right,
girls
so-
really talked about in private. I thought that's what everybody wanted to do. So I thought that was natural. Yeah.
No, but also like people that do have sex with a lot of people and stuff, like you mistake sex for love because they're two different things. Like, and people think that having sex with somebody means that you love them or they love you.
Promiscuity.
There's an attachment there, but it's not love.
Yeah, but it's not like, and I think it's realizing that actually it's not love, it's lust, and that's all it is.
Yeah, and
Unless it's
completely different
with a
thing.
part. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I've been to a gay bar, so I know what it's like. I know how women feel. I went to a gay bar once. It was the most creepiest thing I ever felt in my life. It was like walked in and like everybody in the room was staring at me, and it wasn't good. It
no.
freaked me out completely. I
As a
didn't want to stay.
woman,
Yes.
as a woman, gay bars were the best.
Well, yeah, because they're all interested in each other and not you, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
For once, you get left
exactly, like-
alone and you get left in the corner to do whatever
Yeah,
you want and do
And
yourself.
that's the thing. But whether a girl, someone wears a short skirt or whatever, it that does not give a green light because it's not consent, and that's the difference.
No, I know that.
And a 3-year-old
But at
cannot.
the same time,
consent
I'll
to
tell you how
anything.
frustrating it can be when a girl is giving you all the signals and then she decides she doesn't like you for whatever reason and then turns you down. That's the first thing you want to do is run that across her and tell her, you know what I mean? It's a response. It's not really that we think it. It's just that we're responding because we got rejected.
So, like for me, because my dad died when I was 11, nearly 12, and my mum, she was never really there. But then when she was there, I kind of was at the end of her fist. So for me, I did like my mum has once in my life she told me she loved me and she was drunk. I didn't have a mum that could hold me. My mum was cold and my dad wasn't, my dad had died. And for me, I looked for love in the wrong places, in places that weren't love. They were.
Yep. And we'll do that for you. We'll hold you and tell you all the things you want to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. Like, and look, you look back on your life and go, I wish I knew now what I know. I wish I knew then what I know now, but you can't change it. And
I don't think it would have mattered. We would have just screwed it up some other way. We would have avoided that situation and then fallen right into one that was worse, probably.
So, like for me, like I struggle with when people do stuff and I cut them off and I'm done, right? I struggle because I think, is it me? Is it my fault? Is it my fault that this keeps happening? And then I look and I'm like, well, no, because the way someone treats you, why should I sit and allow it? Do you know what I mean?
Wow, Sandra.
Thank you, Canada Spaceman.
No, she's not
59.
You're not 59. Who's 59?
Sandro 59.
Sandra. Oh, I thought she was talking about Vicky. I was saying Vicky's only like 51, dude.
Oh.
No, you're only 41, aren't you? You're like 40 something, aren't you?
Who, me? Sandro's
60 something.
He's 64 now. Damn.
Wow. I'm 41 for the next month. And then I'm 42.
Again this year?
I told you. No, I am.
I used to make that
42
joke.
this year.
Anytime I met an older woman and some guy would ask her, like, how old are you? I'd always say, first of all, you never ask a woman that. And second of all, she's just going to tell you I'm 29 again this year.
No, I am
That's what she's
42.
supposed to say. 'Cause
When I was like,
who cares if
when I was in my
she looks
20s.
good? Just go get her, man. Don't worry about how old she is.
No, like when I was in my
That'd be my
20s, especially like my late 20s, I tell everyone I was 21.
No, you're YouTuber.
I was a drunk and really skinny, like really skinny.
See, that doesn't happen to mine. The chat disappears. I don't know why.
Still look younger than PJ.
But still look younger than PJ. Sandro. Sandra said he's 64 and still looks younger than you.
Well, PJ hasn't gotten any attention tonight, so we
Wishes.
figure we got to give him some.
Do you know, I just looked a minute ago and he was nodding on the sofa.
Who was?
You was.
I wasn't. I was looking at my
Oh.
phone, you weirdo.
I thought your eyes were closed. No, I don't lie about my age. I was born in 1983.
I remember 1983.
I
I
don't
was 10. I was 10.
no idea.
I was a grown man at that age. I really thought I was. I thought I was a grown up.
PJ was like 7.
Well, when? You on about?
Weird thought.
You were 7 when I was born.
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
Sandra got married in 1983. Well, 983, but I take it you mean 1983 because you weren't here in 983.
983. You got married.
That's a
I got
long
married at
time.
92 or 93 somewhere.
You got married 1,000 odd years ago.
88.
Sandra got married 1,000 odd years ago. Wow.
Yeah, you got married when you were born. You were just getting started.
Oh, wow, more.
He said 1993.
What,
BC.
3,000 years ago?
BC, yeah, BC.
3,000 years ago.
Oh, you lot are funny. No, but look, as a child, you're not responsible for anybody else's actions. As an adult, you are responsible for your own actions. And that is the truth. Like me, sometimes my actions and my words are not great. And but I have Paul Joe, and Paul Joe will be like, Vicky, don't you, babe?
Yeah.
And remind me, and it brings me back. But
No, it doesn't always.
sometimes, most of the time, it does. I
Most.
just am quite random sometimes. 83 seen Bowie on a Let's Dance tour. David Bowie. That's Luke's cat's name, David Bowie.
Just
All
trying to,
these
like,
young people, Rog.
all these young people listen to Roger.
You're young as well. We're all young at heart. Like, but yeah, Ryan, I can talk myself out of a panic attack. I could
Yeah, I
talk
can
other
too.
people out of them as well.
If I get distracted, I can fall right out of it, just the same way I fell into it.
No,
But it's
just in
very
my
rare
head.
that ever happens, though. It has happened a couple times.
Concentrate on breathing. I
Yeah,
went
usually.
to
Yeah.
hospital ages ago for my mental health, and there was a girl sat in A&E having a panic attack.
Roger.
Bearing in mind I'm in there because I'm not mentally well, and I sat on the floor with her, and I was like, just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. I was like, don't think about anything else, just concentrate on the here and now and breathing.
Mhm.
And the nurses come over and were like, "That you're really good." And I was like, look, it's because I live with them. I can talk people out of them. Like I've talked you out of them before, haven't I? Ryan, why are you coming in again? Oh, phone. No, he's stopping from that to that.
Okay.
I get it. While
Is
he's
that-
choking on his bong.
I'm going to switch to my phone so I can go and put the laundry away while we're finishing up here.
Ryan's gonna go and do the laundry.
No. We're
But-
finishing now, Ian.
Yeah, we'll be
Well,
finishing soon.
I at least have to go in there and make it look good. So
Well, yeah, but no.
let me
If
see something.
anybody in chat wants to come in and there's 2 of him. Look,
2 of me, look at that.
Yeah, but the other one will disappear eventually.
You want to
look, it's a weirdo. Look, Ryan. No wonder you can't get a car in there.
No car.
No,
There's room for a car if we turn it sideways and stand up.
Sandra, too much wine.
Wine, where?
No, because he can see two of you.
Oh, it's because he's actually in two places.
Hi. But no, what's that?
Pecan shortbread cookies.
Pecan.
Pecan. Pecan.
Pecan.
It's pecan nuts. That's
Pecan.
what it is.
Pecan.
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 Uh-huh.
Pecan.
Pecan. No, but obviously because this is our first stream,
Mhm.
but like we want to kind of concentrate on mental health and stuff like that. And so if anybody at any point in any of our streams wants to come in and talk,
Then piss
Of
off.
course.
no,
Please do.
don't not
Sure.
piss off, Paul Joe.
I mean, of course, we don't want to hear the gory details of your abuse, but at the same time, if you need to talk about it,
No,
or,
no.
yeah, you want to
but
get something off your chest or whatever, I'm always here to hear anything.
yeah.
I've heard a lot of
And
people's
I think
stories,
that's the
and trust me,
thing.
sometimes them just talking about it makes them feel better about it. I don't know why it does that, but you'd think it would make it worse, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes talking about it and then seeing that other people have dealt with the same thing and seeing that they're okay too. Sometimes, like just seeing that someone else can be okay with it. Sometimes that's all you need, is just to see someone else that's like you, that thinks like you, could actually get over it, or actually avoid the majority of the issues that it causes, which I don't even know what those causes or things are, but you know what I mean? I'm not even really sure what screwed me up, or whether it's in my own head. I mean, for all I know, I just made it up because it was easier than saying that something wrong with me. I don't know. I've had people throw that at me too, like, "Oh, you're just crazy," and I was like, "Well, no, but normal people that are crazy won't say they're crazy. I'll admit it. I think I do a lot of things that are crazy, but does that make me insane? No. It makes me normal.
No.
Everybody thinks about stupid things. They just don't ever talk about it, because
Right.
when you do, then people think you're nuts, right? But I just don't mind. I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Any
And I think
subject
that's the
isn't too
thing.
far, provided that it's
Like-
in the right context, right?
Especially like with the stuff like on YouTube, when people like personally attack you and stuff, I think it can be hard, and I think it does affect all of us in different ways when it happens.
Of course.
But if nobody's talking about our struggles and
Still here. Sorry.
and things we deal with on a daily basis, like mental health, abuse, stuff like that, then who do we turn to? Do you know what I mean? Like, I've just started following a bloke on TikTok. He's British, and his son was unalived by somebody last year, and he has BPD, and like he talks about mental health, and he lives in Spain, but he's coming to the UK and to England, and he's going to be sleeping rough with the homeless and raising money and hopefully improving people's lives and stuff. So like people like that, there are good people out there. It's just finding them sometimes.
There.
Ryan, you are a flat earther. You are not
Yeah.
normal, which is a good thing. Well, Sandro, none of us are. But who'd want to be normal anyway? Imagine how boring your life would be.
It's the definition of normal, because normal to use.
Well, if normal means I have to be an asshole like them, then forget it.
Yeah, said that. No.
But
Right.
the hardest part is
So-
trying not to act like them after they treat you like shit. That's where they get you,
Yeah.
because they pull you down with them. They try to pull you in, so they get you to do the
Screw
same thing they're doing to you. So that way they can say, "Oh, see, he's just like me. See, I was right." I hate
Aye.
that, because I just want to beat the crap out of them and make them look bad. And then I realize, no, that's not the way to do it, because that's what they're trying to do, right? It's like, I hate that. Don't use that
So-
against me. I hate that.
Should we do this on every Wednesday?
We could, I guess.
What?
We could always talk about something different every time, but
That's what I'm saying. Like each
Albeit.
week have a different
Sure.
thing. Do you know what I mean? Because
I
we
don't
can
see why.
research whatever.
Mhm.
And
I
then
like the
do
idea.
it on a Wednesday at the same time. Because if we do this time, it's good for both of us.
There you
Good
go.
on you.
I think it's
Right, Ryan,
Great.
we're going to end because it
Okay,
is
yeah, good
10
idea.
past 1 in the morning.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, and I got stuff to do. So
Aye.
it was great.
Right.
I enjoyed it.
No, it was good. So we will see you at the same time next week.
Okay.
Ta-da!
And yeah, thank you all for coming.
TTFN.
Love you all.
What's up, man?
Are you a TikToker?
Yeah, I'm on here doing freestyle raps for people. Could I do a freestyle for you?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, dope. I need your help because I'm gonna improvise.
Okay.
Can you give me like a song topic?
Okay. A grizzly bear drinking milk.
A grizzly bear drinking milk.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude, I love it. Oh wow, you got a grizzly bear on your mug right there?
Yeah, it's milk. That's what
You
I
drinking
thought
milk
of it.
out of there?
Yes.
Oh wow,
I do.
so this makes so much sense. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Let's go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, yeah. Come on, yeah, 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 yeah. In the forest, I get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. I said my fur, it be smoother than silk. I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, in the forest, I'll get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Hey, yo, my fur, it be smoother than silk. I'm just out here drinking milk. Yeah, I'm a grizzly, it's mad facts. Us bears, we got a bad rap. Yeah, people aren't really aware. When they see us while they hiking, yo, they get scared. They like, no, that's that dude, that grizzly that's really gonna steal our food. Damn, hey, yo, his size is godly. He might even catch us and eat our bodies. Yeah, people think that I'ma eat them raw. People scared of my teeth, scared of my claws. People scared cause my size is giant, and they know in a fight that I'm certain to triumph. But here's the thing, I don't like people. I'm not a bad guy, I'm not evil. Nah, that's not the way I'm built. I ain't gonna eat you, I just want your milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear.
Listen
I
to
said
this
my
shit.
fur, it be
Guys,
smoother than
guys.
silk. I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Hey, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear, yeah. And my fur, it be smoother than silk. Hey, I'm just out here drinking milk. Yeah, real big how I been built. I'm not really a fan of the
going.
skim milk. I do invent, loving to drink the 2%. Yeah, and y'all know I don't make people feel the wrath. I want the half and half. Yeah, yo, look in my eyes, they so dreamy. Pour me a glass of milk that's mad creamy. All the milk, you know it shook me. But hey, I think I'll need some cookies. Yeah, that's gonna make sure my mood don't get low. When I got the cookies, I can dip those. Yeah, if I got the milk, it's a miracle. Yeah, I might need a bowl of cereal. Ah shit, man, he even had the prop. Y'all know we drinking non-stop. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Hey, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Yeah, and my fur, it be smoother than silk. Hey, so I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Yeah, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Hey, and my fur, it be smoother than silk. Come on, I'm just out here drinking milk. Yeah, I'm about to make you aware. If you got milk, better pour a glass for the bears. Yeah, I'm out here getting busy. Pour me a glass of milk for this grizzly. Yeah, I'ma make you aware. Hey, go and pour a glass of milk for the bears. Hey, y'all know the milk got me amped. And if you don't pour me a cup, I'll terrorize your camp. Let's go.
You insane. Yo, you guys are not gonna believe this. Okay, listen. I asked him to do like grizzly bear drinking milk, and the dude freestyled it in like 5 seconds. It just went on for 2 minutes. Oh my god, this is awesome.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
dude, you're like my idol now. I love you. You have an amazing day, man. I'm speechless.
Thank you so much, man. You're
I'll
awesome.
subscribe it to you.
Thank you, bro.
Take care, man.
You too.
done.